After winning the New Zealand Trophy 4-year-old stakes, Ugly Cap extended his undefeated streak to 12 wins and is ready to take on the next challenge. To prepare Ugly Cap for tougher opponents in the future, Lope took her and Blue No Light to see the Great One, Takala Tsukakine. It was there that they saw Aki's tail, based on the real-life Nippo Tail, who had won major races such as the Japanese Derby and the Autumn Tenno Show. Without a doubt, she is the #1 favorite to win the race. Nippo Tail also sired a very famous daughter, Halu Ulala, known for her unbreakable spirit and positivity despite never winning a single race. Her story turned her into a symbol of hope, inspiring thousands even after her passing this year. Since Ugly Cap went to watch the race in person, she missed the tea party with her friends, so she sent them local Kawala rice crackers to make up for it. Here's a picture of what it looks like in real life. If we talk about Ugly Cap's entire career, Tamamo Cross is undoubtedly one of the most impactful and memorable rivals, not only because they share the same gray coat, but they both also have been through tragedy in their past. In the year 1975, Nikabutang, Hokkaido, a horse breeder's farm called Nishikino Bokjo was just starting its business. The farm's owner is called Nishikino Masaki. Nishikino's dream is to breed horses that could compete with those from larger ranches without superior bloodlines. To achieve this, he began buying cheap but high-potential brood mares. Among them, the one that interested him the most was Green Chateau, who had won 6 of the 19 races she competed in, and her father was a successful American horse, Shadowgay. Nishikino was impressed by her and believed she could produce an excellent racehorse, so in 1979, after she retired from racing, he spent a huge fortune to bring her to his farm as a broodmare. In that same year, a gray horse named CB Cross became a sensation. Although he never won any Grade 1 races, his racing style where he always accelerates near the end of the lap gained him a lot of popularity and was given the name White Lightning. Impressed by his performance, Nishikino set his eyes on him. 4 years later, in 1983, Nishikino gathered a group of friends with the goal of acquiring CB Cross as a stallion for his farm. After several discussions, Chiaki Farm agreed to transfer CB Cross to Nishikino for free on the condition that he and his friends would promote him as a stallion to attract more broodmares. In Japanese horse racing, large companies have long controlled the industry by importing top stallions and promoting domestic breeding. It's true that this transformation turned Japan into a major force on the global stage. However, many smaller breeding farms suffered under this dominance, with some eventually driven to bankruptcy. Even though Nishikino had high hopes for his business, over time it became increasingly difficult for him to keep the farm running. He had invested most of his savings into it, and to stay afloat, he was forced to borrow money from lenders and friends. Things became so desperate that he even offered to let broodmares mate with CB Cross in exchange for a single bottle of alcohol, yet hardly any customers came to his farm. Nishikino decided to gamble everything on Green Chateau by letting CB Cross mate with her. In 1984, Nishikino Cross was born. The young colt was extremely small and thin, with very little appetite, which made it difficult for Nishikino to find a buyer. Through a friend's introduction, he eventually sold Nishikino Cross to art dealer Mino Michio for only around 4 to 5 million yen, even though Nishikino Bokjo was already burdened with hundreds of millions in debt. After the purchase, Nishikino Cross was sent to Lido Training Center, where he was officially registered under the name Tamamo Cross. However, Tamamo's debut race did not go well, finishing only 7th place. In May 1987, due to financial difficulties, Nishikino was forced to sell his farm along with all his horses, which includes Tamamo Cross' mother, Green Shadow. Nishikino later got divorced with his wife and moved to Tokyo alone, working on construction sites to repay his debts. 2 months later, on July 30th, Green Shadow suffered a panic attack and died from intestinal torsion. In an interview, Nishikino said, "Green Shadow had always been my favorite horse. She was very intelligent and understood everything I said. When I was forced to sell her, it felt as if my heart were being torn apart. I am the one who killed her. She had always been a sensitive horse who won't listen to anyone besides me. I'm sure she was terrified being moved to an unfamiliar place. She must have been stressed out. Whenever I think of her death, my stomach begins hurting. Even now, I still call her name in my sleep. Although I work on construction sites, torturing my body, I see this as a way to redeem my sins to my family and to Green Shadow." Not long after the closure of Nishikino Farm, Tamamo Cross began his awakening, having an 8-race win streak including 3 Grade 1 races, even defeating the fan-favored Nippo Tail. Nishikino, on the other hand, was unable to stand on the podium beside Tamamo Cross due to his financial struggles, leaving an empty space on the podium. This moment moved countless horse racing fans and even overshadowed the joy of Tamamo Cross' victory. The irony of a horse raised with the love and dedication of its breeder, achieving glory without the breeder's presence, has become a tragic story still remembered in the racing world today. Nishikino's family later forgives him after Tamamo winning the Spring Tenno show. Nishikino Masaki continued to work as a construction worker till today. However, one of his sons chose to follow his footsteps and is now working in the Honyo farm. Later in the episode, Ugly Cap and Blue Light spend their day off in Takeshita Street, Harajuku. They stop to rest at Cafe Molino Terrace, located next to the entrance of the Meiji Jingu Shrine. Now, let's go over Ugly Cap's rivals in this race. Starting off, we have Celia Simboli. By her name, you probably guessed it, she came from the same farm as Simboli Rudolph, the Simboli Ranch. In the anime, her personality was portrayed as someone who is more independent-minded, which reflects to her real-life background. Originally, she and Simboli Rudolph were supposed to be sent to Europe to compete together, but after Rudolph was diagnosed with an injury, Celia Simboli was shipped overseas alone. Dynam heroine, based off Dinah actress. Her father is the famous Norsen Paste. Long Live Free, based off Running Free. Lord Royale, based off Legend Tale. Massive Viking, based off Bold Northman. So, how will Ugly Cap perform in the race? We'll find out in the next video. Thank you again for watching today's episode. Your voices are my motivation. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.